you tool addicted maniacs. Over the last 2.5 decades, I have turned a lot of wrenches. During that time, I've encountered a dozen different situations where my 30-minute repair got turned into a 2-hour-long repair. And that was all due to a seized or rounded off fastener that I had to deal with that I did not anticipate. Anybody who's ever been in the mechanical world has experienced those situations. Maybe the fastener was turned on or off 35 different times before it got to you. Maybe somebody used an impact on it 25 different times and kept reusing the same fastener. Maybe it was heated up once or twice with a torch. You do-it-yourselfer used a 12-point standard instead of a 6-point metric. And in between that time, somebody stuck a little Loctite on the thread. So every time somebody took that fastener on or off, it created a little bit of damage to that bolt head. Now it's there for you to deal with in your shop. Now whether you're a flat rake tech, a seasoned mechanic, industrial mechanic, or a do-it-yourself, having the right tool for the job will make all the difference in the world. Such as this 12-piece set of metric bolt extractor wrenches from Capri Tools. If you're someone who's wrenching on modern day fasteners, you're going to need the metric version of the wrenches that we're checking out here today, but they also offer them in standard as well. The one we're checking out is model number CP11750. Non-affiliate links will be in the description box below. Whenever you get this wrench set from Capri Tools, it comes stored and organized inside of a nice heavy-duty roll-up pouch. And a nice little carrying tab right here, that way you can hang it on your shop wall, Velcro straps, and printed indicators. This alone is going to be a great storage option. It's good for mobility, because if you're someone who's a mechanic on the go, a field service technician, something like that, you're going to appreciate this. Keeps everything nice and organized. Whenever you're ready to use it, all you got to do is roll it out onto the workbench, and right here you are. Easily identifies the name brand, which wrench set you got, what it's meant for, all the cool specifications right here to the left-hand side. This is a professional grade case. But inside of it here, we got a 12-piece metric wrench set featuring no skip sizes, between 8 to 19 millimeters. Everything you're looking at is made in Taiwan from chrome molybdenum steel. For those who don't know, that is a much better quality steel than chrome vanadium. It means you're getting a more premium construction, creating a professional grade tool. Each one of these have large visible die stamped indicators with a flawless max chrome finish. I tell you right now, the overall finish on these tools is absolutely amazing. That max chrome finish is no joke. It's probably one of the best fitting finishes that I've seen on a tool outside of a tool truck. Another thing I love is the fact that these wrenches are 40% longer than traditional wrenches. The one I'm holding in my hand right here is a 19 millimeter. Equivalent of a 19 is this 3/4 inch gear wrench right here. Here's a basic old Chinese style 19 millimeter. Even if we was to compare it side by side with some of the longer wrenches from Gear Wrench, Capri Tools is going to have them beat. Important thing about having a 40% longer wrench is the ability to have more leverage. That means it's going to require less force to achieve optimal torque. In the old days, if you're trying to achieve optimal torque, the best way to do it would be stick the boxed in on top of the fastener, and then you take your wrenches and you double them up like this. That right there is how a lot of old school mechanics would apply optimum force in those situations. They double up on the wrenches and they'd apply torque. Anybody who's done that knows exactly how easy it is to bust your knuckles on something that you're working on. You don't have to worry about putting a cheater pipe on this wrench to get the job done. The length on these is great. What makes these wrenches extra special is what they refer to as the XT pattern design. It basically means this wrench can function as a regular combination wrench or as a bolt extractor. These are specially designed to offer maximum grip on up to 90% rounded fasteners. Plus there's a 15-degree offset to help clear obstruction. Now just as a demonstration piece, I've got a block right here with some fasteners run into it. And you can look at this one right here on the edge. This one's the one that I have tested on the most. You can clearly see that by looking at the teeth marks and the rounded edges on it. Anytime I'm trying to test out some things by hand to get a good decent feel for it, I'll test it out on this block first before I put it in a vise or anything like that. See, on a 12-point wrench, if you take it and stick it on this fastener right here, 12-point boxed in is going to apply force right there on the corners. But this one, clearly see that it is rounded. It goes all the way around it. This fastener is rounded. If you're in that situation, you're hurting. But the new fastener, you can clearly see where the points of contact are. It's right there on the edge of that fastener. Now, if you take a 6-point boxed in wrench and you put it on there, you're going to have force applied differently. Basically going to put pressure right there below the corner of the fastener, not necessarily on the corner of the fastener. Why, if I put it on this one right here, and I start to apply torque to it, it's still going to get a little bit of grip. It's one of those situations where it's a seized or frozen fastener and you apply a lot of force to it, it's still going to end up rounding it off. And if you're in a situation using an open end boxed in wrench, it doesn't really matter because they're all going to be pretty well built the same with the exception of the snap-on. See that rounded right there? It's not going to bring it off. It's not going to loosen it up. Regular old Chinese wrench right here, same thing. It rounds it right off. It's not going to loosen it up. It's not going to bring it off. It's just going to slip. Now with the Capri, I'm going to put the boxed in wrench right here on the good fastener so you can see what it looks like in comparison to the others. But this XT pattern design actually digs into the center of the fastener instead of the corner of the fastener. So the force is being placed right below the edge of the corner where the turning point of the fastener actually occurs. Just to test out the open end portion of this wrench and put it on this good fastener here, see that the XT design has 3 points of contact with the open end. But we flip it over here, put the boxed in on it, it's going to have 6 points of contact on the boxed end. Like I said, with a 12-point wrench, it grips the edges of the fastener, which is great if you're trying to get at a fastener at an angle. If you're in tight confined spaces, something like that, that's what the 12 point's designed for. Edges of that fastener is going to take the brunt of the force that you're being applied to that fastener, and there's where the damage is created. 6-point, on the other hand, it offers a more premium grip while reducing rounding. The Wave Drive Pro basically functions the exact same way as a 6-point. It covers the surface area that is closer to the center of the fastener as opposed to the edge. The XT design has half the material that a normal 6-point does. Just to put these side by side, you're going to see what I'm talking about. It's basically a 6-point 6-point boxed in wrench, but it's missing half the material in the center of the points all the way over to the edge. That's why if you take this boxed in wrench from Capri and put it on this fastener here, it allows the wrench to dig into the fastener with maximum grip right there where the turning force of the fastener is naturally applied. So whenever you're getting ready to apply force to a fastener like this, the handle is 40% longer than traditional wrenches. You're getting more natural torque and leverage. Start to turn that fastener out, the XT design bites into the fastener, and it'll actually turn the fastener off there, as you can see right here. You see how it's gripping right there? The missing portion of the 6-point design basically functions as a tooth that's biting in the center of the fastener right where the turning force is. There's some really good science behind these wrenches and how they function. And I know there's a lot of great options out there, like they got the brand new Overdrive series from Craftsman, the Xeon series from Powerbuilt, RBRT from Mac Tools. But whenever it comes down to it, the wrenches here from Capri Tool is affordable, they're professional made, reasonably priced, and most importantly, they do the job that they are intended to do. The open end portion of this wrench functions the exact same way, but it's got 3 points of contact instead of 6. No matter how you slice it, 3 points of contact is still going to beat 2 points of contact that you get with a traditional wrench any day of the week. Applying force to this and I'm trying to turn the fastener on, it's going to function just like a regular old wrench would. It's not going to mar up your fastener, it's not going to beat it up, it's not going to do anything bad to it. It's some premium grip and you're not going to have to get a cheater bar to put on it because you got all that extra leverage already built into the wrench. You're needing to get on something and it's partially rounded like this one right here, you can see it slip onto it. It'll bite right into that fastener so that I can easily bring it off here. It doesn't slip whenever I do it either. As you can see there. Like I said, this has been a fastener that I have tested over and over again. I like testing with this particular fastener because it shows me exactly where these wrenches bite into it at. It shows me where the weak spots are whenever I'm using a 12-point wrench, a 6-point wrench, or this wave drive from Capri Tools. They work, they do the job that they are designed to do. You can compare these head to head with other tool brands, whether it's Micropro, Astro, Mac Tools, but I think you should try these out for yourself. Overall quality on these wrenches are solid, especially for the price point that you're paying for them. The fact that there's no skips in between, you get a full selection of sizes, they have a lifetime warranty. Most importantly, the performance of these is professional grade. You can buy these in standard, metric, the long pattern, or even the stubby versions twice over compared to what you'd pay for one set of Mac Tools RBRT line. I've personally seen fellow tradesmen in the field using Capri Tools Wave Drive Pro. I've seen it in the automotive and industrial world. If you want to follow along and see how I use these and test them in the trades, all you got to do is check out these social media platforms. Whether you're a professional technician, an advanced do-it-yourselfer, these wrenches are going to pay for themselves the very first time you remove a damaged or seized fastener. Nobody wants to pull out a torch, a grinder, a tap and die set just to deal with a bad nut and bolt. These wrenches are going to save you way more money than what you'll spend on the initial investment. I understand the need for buying certain tools off the tool truck because everybody wants the best, but in reality, these perform just as good as the best without the tool truck prices. Let's be honest, in this current economy, we all need to save money. The tools do the exact same job. As always, I want to hear from you. If you have this set of Capri Tools Wave Drive Pro wrenches, why don't you comment down below, tell us your feedback based on your experience. If you're interested in getting these wrenches for yourself, the non-affiliate link is in the description box below. If you want some real world, tested in the trades opinions based on experience, all you got to do is pop that clutch and subscribe.